tackles are in there, and that is Tre'von Moehrig.
Nobody expected chaos after the 49 ERS beat Carolina, but that's exactly when everything exploded. Cameras caught a moment so dirty the NFL stepped in less than 24 hours later. Jauan Jennings marched straight toward Tre'von Moehrig at midfield, and what happened next stunned players on both teams, and the league's punishment only raised more questions.
In his first game, let's take a look and see if offensive tackles are in there, and that is Tre'von Moehrig.
The confrontation occurred at Levi's Stadium following San Francisco's Monday Night Football victory. Jennings walked directly toward Moehrig during the post-game handshakes. He struck Moehrig in the face mask with an open-handed right cross. Jennings followed with a second blow before teammates and staff separated the players. The brief scuffle forced personnel from both sidelines to intervene. The altercation stemmed from an incident late in the fourth quarter. Broadcast footage showed Moehrig delivering a left-handed uppercut to Jennings' groin area. The punch occurred after Christian McCaffrey had been tackled on a running play. Jennings did not immediately retaliate. He looked toward officials and pleaded for a flag. No penalty was called on the play. Jennings caught 5 passes for 41 yards and 1 touchdown in the victory. His 12-yard touchdown reception from Brock Purdy came on the opening drive. The 49 ers improved to 8-4 with the win. Carolina dropped to 6-6 following the loss. Moehrig recorded 8 total tackles during the game. San Francisco head coach Kyle Shanahan defended Jennings during his post-game press conference. The guy took a cheap shot and hit him in the balls. Shanahan said, "I was real proud of Jauan for not losing his mind out there and getting to the sideline." The coach praised Jennings for maintaining composure during the game despite the provocation. Jennings addressed the post-game confrontation with reporters. "I was just responding to some childish behavior," Jennings said. He acknowledged his physical playing style likely contributed to tensions during the game. "That was just out of nowhere," Jennings said about Moehrig's punch. "I think it's probably just like I was saying, just the history of me playing ball. I play hard. I'm physically stronger than a lot of DBs out there, and a lot of things happen in between the whistles. With me, at least." Moehrig offered his perspective on the incident in the Panthers locker room. "He was just doing some extra stuff after the play," Moehrig said. "I'll take that one. It wasn't just frustration. It was isolated. The safety acknowledged he would likely face discipline for his actions. I'll take that one. He wanted to do a little dirty stuff, so it is what it is, man." Carolina cornerback Mike Jackson expressed support for his teammate. "I ain't got nothing good to say about 15, Jackson said, referring to Jennings' jersey number. Panthers head coach Dave Canales stated he needed to review film before commenting extensively. "I'll get to the bottom of that," Canales said. "I want to see exactly what happened. I haven't had the chance to talk to Trey about that yet. That'll be a conversation." The NFL announced its decision Tuesday morning. Moehrig received a 1-game suspension without pay for unsportsmanlike conduct. The league cited Rule 12, Section 3, Article 1-inch its ruling. The rule applies to any act which is contrary to the generally understood principles of sportsmanship, including, among others, throwing a punch or a forearm or kicking at an opponent. Jennings will face a fine rather than suspension. The league reviewed footage of both the in-game punch and the post-game retaliation. NFL insider Tom Pelissero clarified the split decision on social media. Moehrig plans to appeal the suspension under the collective bargaining agreement. His case will be heard by one of 3 jointly appointed hearing officers, Derek Brooks, Ramon Foster, or Jordy Nelson. The same appeal process was utilized earlier this season when Detroit Lions safety Brian Branch was suspended 1 game for striking Kansas City Chiefs receiver JuJu Smith-Schuster after a game. Branch's appeal was denied and the suspension was upheld. Moehrig's suspension will cost him 1 game check worth $65,000. He will miss Carolina's Week 13 home game against the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday. The Panthers listed Moehrig as day-to-day with an ankle issue on their injury report. The suspension is strictly disciplinary and unrelated to the ankle concern, worth $65,000. He will miss Carolina's Week 13 home game against the Los Angeles Rams on Sunday. The Panthers listed Moehrig as day-to-day with an ankle issue on their injury report. The suspension is strictly disciplinary and unrelated to the ankle concern. If the appeal fails, Moehrig will be eligible to return for Carolina's game against the New Orleans Saints on December 8. The suspension marks the 2nd time this season a player has been disciplined for a post-game altercation. The league established precedent with the Branch suspension earlier in the 2025 campaign. Jennings explained why he did not retaliate immediately after Moehrig's punch during the game. "You're talking about how small this window is for us," Jennings said, referencing San Francisco's Super Bowl aspirations. "Being a 7th rounder, cut, I don't want to make any mistakes." The receiver went undrafted out of Tennessee before signing with San Francisco as a free agent in 2020. He spent time on the practice squad before earning a roster spot. Jennings has had an inconsistent 2025 season. He missed much of the preseason with a calf injury while seeking new contract terms. He later revealed he had been playing with broken ribs. Through 12 games, Jennings has caught 32 passes for 419 yards and 4 touchdowns in his 5th NFL season. Moehrig is in his 5th season with Carolina after being drafted in the 2nd round by the Las Vegas Raiders in 2021. He has recorded 81 total tackles and 1 interception through 11 games this season. The safety joined Carolina as a free agent before the 2024 season. The incident drew comparisons to the Branch Smith-Schuster altercation from earlier this season. Branch approached Smith-Schuster during the post-game handshakes following a Sunday night game. He struck Smith-Schuster in the face mask in similar fashion to Jennings' actions Monday night. The league suspended Branch 1 game without pay. His appeal was heard and denied by hearing officer Jordy Nelson. San Francisco's defense dominated Carolina throughout Monday's contest. The 49ers held Panthers quarterback Bryce Young to 182 passing yards. Carolina managed just 9 points despite entering the red zone twice. Safety Jair Brown intercepted Young twice. The 49ers defense ranks 28th in defensive impact metrics, but produced a strong performance against Carolina's struggling offense. The 49ers next face the Cleveland Browns on Sunday at First Energy Stadium. Cleveland quarterback Shedeur Sanders will make his first start for the Browns after being acquired in a trade deadline deal. San Francisco seeks to extend their winning streak to 4 games. The 49ers hold a 1-game lead over Seattle in the NFC West standings. Carolina hosts the Rams at Bank of America Stadium on Sunday without Moehrig in the lineup. Los Angeles enters with a 7-4 record and sits 2nd in the NFC West. The Panthers must adjust their secondary rotation to account for Moehrig's absence. Carolina has allowed 24.8 points per game this season, ranking 21st in the NFL. The final amount of Jennings' fine will be determined through the league's standard review process. Previous fines for post-game altercations have ranged from $10,000 to $25,000 depending on the severity of the incident. The league typically announces fine amounts within 48 hours of its initial disciplinary decision. Panthers defensive coordinator Al Holcomb must prepare adjustments for Sunday's game without his starting safety. The loss of Moehrig creates a significant void in Carolina's defensive backfield. Holcomb will need to restructure his safety rotations and potentially alter his coverage schemes against the Rams' passing attack. Carolina signed safety Jalen Hawkins from the practice squad to provide depth at the position. Hawkins has appeared in 6 games this season with 3 tackles and limited special team snaps. The Panthers could also elevate rookie safety Jordan Fuller from the practice squad for additional insurance on game day. Fuller has yet to appear in a regular season game since joining Carolina as an undrafted free agent. Moehrig's appeal hearing will likely occur later this week. The hearing officer has 48 hours from the appeal filing to schedule and conduct the hearing. A decision typically comes within 24 hours after the hearing concludes. The expedited timeline allows the league to resolve disciplinary matters before the next scheduled game. If the suspension is upheld, Moehrig will be prohibited from participating in team activities until Monday, December 1. He cannot attend meetings, practice sessions, or travel with the team to the stadium on game day. The suspension without pay costs Moehrig his weekly game check plus any performance bonuses tied to active roster status. Carolina must finalize its game day roster by Saturday afternoon, creating urgency around the appeal process.